Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into the top 10 best recent post-apocalyptic TV shows. From survival stories to dystopian futures, I've got some awesome picks that you definitely don't want to miss. So let's get right into it. For number 10, Sisyphus, the Myth of 2021. This show is a wild mix of sci-fi, thriller, and drama with a story that throws a genius engineer into a world of secrets he never saw coming. Oh, and there's also a badass woman from the future who shows up looking for him. Sounds cool, right? Well, kinda. It's got a solid 7 out of 10, which feels fair. The action is fun, the concept is interesting, and the post-apocalyptic vibes are strong. But you really have to turn your brain off for some of it. Think classic 80s action movie logic. Some moments will have you questioning everything, but if you just roll with it, it's a good time. One thing I wasn't totally sold on? The romance. The two leads just didn't have that spark, so those moments felt kind of forced. But if you're here for the sci-fi, mystery, and some cool world building, I'd say it's worth checking out. Moving to number 9. The Crossing of 2018, a pretty wild ride. Imagine refugees from a war-torn future suddenly showing up in the present day, looking for asylum in a small American town. Well, that's exactly what happens in this show. It gets even more interesting when you find out these refugees are actually escaping a future version of America 180 years from now. With a solid 7.1 out of 10 rating, The Crossing definitely has its moments. Amazing cast and so skillfully written. It's really surprising ABC canceled it after just one season. Honestly, I get that it had potential. I thought the concept of time-traveling refugees was super intriguing. The performances, especially from Steve Zahn and Natalie Martinez. The show has a good mix of suspense, mystery, and drama, making it one of those series that keeps you guessing. The Crossing is worth checking out. It's not your usual time travel story, and it definitely pulls you in. Now, number 8. The Passage of 2019. This show kicks off with a top-secret US government experiment that goes horribly wrong. Because of course it does. They turn death row inmates into supercharged vampires, and before you know it, things spiral out of control. In the middle of the chaos, there's this orphaned girl, Amy, who might be the key to stopping the whole mess. It's got a 7.2 out of 10 rating, which honestly makes sense. The mix of sci-fi, horror, and thriller elements keeps things interesting. The best part? The bond between Amy and Brad, the agent who's trying to protect her. That dynamic really holds the show together and gives it some heart. That said, the show had potential to be something bigger, but it never really got the chance to fully shine. It's a fun ride while it lasts though, especially if you're into post-apocalyptic stories with a twist. For number 7, Anna, a 2021 Italian series set in a world where a deadly virus has wiped out all the adults, and now it's just kids trying to survive on a deserted Sicilian island. The main character, Anna, is only 13, but she's got to take care of her younger brother and navigate this dangerous new reality. It's sitting at 7.3 out of 10, and honestly, I get why. The plot is super intriguing, and the kids' performances, they kill it. What I really loved about Anna is how it captures the raw, gritty side of survival. The world looks beautiful but haunting, and you can feel the weight of the characters' struggles. If you're into post-apocalyptic stories with real depth, which makes you think about what it really takes to survive when the world as you know it is gone. Next up, number 6. Raised by Wolves from 2020 to 2022, this show is a trip. We've got 2 androids raising human kids on a mysterious planet after Earth basically falls apart. It's got a 7.4 out of 10, which is solid, and I can see why. The whole premise is super unique and honestly kinda creepy in the best way. It's got this weird mix of sci-fi and deep emotional themes. It's not just about the robots, it's also about human nature, faith, and survival. The young cast is amazing too, making you feel all the tension and confusion as they try to figure out their new world. It's definitely one of those shows that gets under your skin and makes you think. If you're into something fresh and a little mind-bending, Raised by Wolves is totally worth the watch. Moving to number 5. See, from 2019 to 2022, set in a wild dystopian future where the entire human race has lost the ability to see. Imagine living in a world where people have to rely on their other senses to survive, hunt, and build. It gets even more intense when twins are born with the power to actually see, and suddenly, everything changes. It's got a solid 7.6 out of 10, which feels pretty fair. The whole concept is really fresh, and honestly, it gets you thinking about how people would adapt if they lost one of their senses. The performances are on point too. They did a great job bringing this world to life. If you're into post-apocalyptic shows with a lot of heart and some serious twists, see, is definitely worth a watch. It's got that mix of action, drama, and a bit of mind-bending sci-fi that'll keep you hooked. Coming up next, number 4. Sweet Tooth from 2021 to 2024. This show is something else. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world where a deadly virus wipes out most of humanity, and the survivors end up sharing the planet with human-animal hybrids. The main character, Gus, is this adorable half-deer, half-human kid just trying to survive and figure out where he fits in the chaos. It's sitting at a 7.7 out of 10, and I totally get why. You will be hooked within the first 20 minutes. The characters are compelling, the story is heartwarming but with a lot of adventure, and it's one of those shows that keeps you emotionally invested. If you like post-apocalyptic worlds with a touch of fantasy and characters that really grow on you, it's an adventure, but it's also got a lot of heart, and you're gonna get attached to Gus for sure. Now, number 3. Twisted Metal of 2023, a pure chaos in the best way. It follows this fast-talking outsider who gets a chance at a better life, but only if he can survive a dangerous mission across a post-apocalyptic wasteland, delivering a mysterious package. Oh, and did I mention it's packed with insane car chases, dark humor, and some seriously wild characters? With a 7.3/10 rating, the show is beastly and hilarious, and I couldn't agree more. The standout has to be Sweet Tooth. Got this perfect mix of menace and comedy that really adds something extra to the whole vibe of the show. Twisted Metal is definitely worth checking out. Unpredictable ride that you won't want to miss. As for number 2, Fallout of 2024, set in a post-apocalyptic Los Angeles after a nuclear disaster, and it's got everything you could want. Mutants, bandits, and a whole lot of survival. The survivors are living underground, hiding from radiation and trying to rebuild their world. This show received an impressive 8.3 out of 10 rating, seriously hitting all the right notes. I've seen a lot of positive buzz about it. It's fun, beautifully crafted, and I totally agree. It has this perfect balance of dark humor, action, and great storytelling. The characters are solid, and it feels like it's taking everything we love about the Fallout games and expanding on it in a really fresh way, which is definitely a must-watch. It's got that gritty, fun vibe that keeps you hooked from start to finish. And finally, number 1 on the list. The Last of Us of 2023, this series picks up after a global pandemic destroys civilization, and we follow Joel, a tough survivor, as he tries to protect Ellie, a 14-year-old girl who might just be humanity's last shot. With an 8.7 out of 10 rating, this show absolutely lives up to the hype. One thing I loved is how it stays true to the original game while still giving us something new. The performances are spot on, especially Pedro Pascal as Joel and Bella Ramsey as Ellie. They just nail these roles and you really feel the emotional weight of their journey. This is a real post-apocalyptic, and it is a must-watch. By the way, Season 2 is coming in April 2025 on Max, so get ready for more of this wild, heart-wrenching story. And that's it, guys! I hope you found some new shows to add to your watch list. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a new video. Drop a comment with your favorite post-apocalyptic show. I'd love to hear what you think. Catch you next time.